G'day champions, I'm Jax, this is J&D Creations, and if you didn't know that, then this is probably your first time here. So welcome, I'm glad you clicked on this video and you've come to hang out for a little bit. Here's hoping by the time you finish this video that you're enticed enough to click another one of my videos and possibly even subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe, ring this little bell icon right here to make sure that you get notifications every time I put a new video out. Now I am in the process of sort of moving my workshop around a little bit, and that has sparked an idea, a memory, you could say, of a project that I've been wanting to do for a long time. The other thing that re-sparked this memory was the fact that I saw another maker make it not long ago. I came across the channel Mark Makes, and he constructed this giant ruler. And that is something that I've been wanting to do for a couple of years now as a height chart for the kids. So without further ado, if you've got kids, stick around because this is going to be a pretty handy project, I think, for you. And if you don't have kids, you're still going to get the usual J&D antics in this video. We all know that's why you're really here. All right, let's do this. Right, so I've got my piece of Marry all milled up now and ready to go. I wanted to go with a piece of Marry for this project because I'm obsessed with the gum vein patterns that you get in the grain. But you could certainly do this project straight from a piece of pine that you got from Bunnings. Doing it with the pine would probably save you the need to do all of that milling process as well. So if you don't have those machines, this project is still doable. So the next step in this process is going to be putting a bevel on each side so that the sides are a lot thinner than the center is. Just like the old school wooden rulers were. Now to achieve this, I'm going to use the table saw. But again, if you don't have a table saw, there are many other ways that you could do this. You could use a track saw, an electric plane, a hand plane, or even a sander if you didn't have any of the other devices. I mean, if you're really good with a hand saw, you probably could use that as well, but there is no way I am going to attempt that. As for the angle, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll fill you in and let you know what angle I end up going with. Now for this project, I did not want to use any resin, but one of the downfalls of Marry is that the gum vein can often go straight through a piece and leave chunks of the timber a bit flimsy. So down the bottom here, I have used some black CA glue to try and stabilize this piece that was flexing. And it's done a rather good job. It's nice and solid and held on there now, and I will sand off that excess glue, and here's hoping you won't even be able to see it. But for me, that milling process and all those extra steps are 100% worth getting this grain detail up on the wall, because look at that. firm believer that metric is the only way to measure. That's right, I said it, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Metric is the way forward. But for some reason in Australia, even though we use the metric system, people still want to know how tall you are in feet and inches. But because of that, I need to include feet and inches on this ruler, I think. It feels like the inclusive thing to do. But just know that my stance on metric hasn't changed. And just like that, another project is complete. I'm really happy with how this one came out. I don't get to say it all that often, but it actually turned out exactly as I planned. Well, maybe not exactly, but pretty damn close. As you can see here, guys, the reason I went with a solid piece of Mari was for this grain detail. It is absolutely amazing and unique. It flows beautifully, and the color of the burning really matches all the gum vein through the piece. I ended up putting a ridiculous number of finish coats on this one. I think there's 11 or 12 coats of shellac on there. I really wanted to build that finish up so that I could write on the piece nicely with a marker and not have the texture soak into the timber grain. We've already got our measurements for 2022 on there. Unfortunately, my height doesn't quite fit on the chart, but the rest of the family fits on there perfectly. And every 6 or 12 months, we'll put another measurement on there. That's about all I can say on this one, guys. Very simple, easy project. So if you want to get started in woodwork, give this one a crack. As I said at the start, there is plenty of different ways that you can achieve the same results if you don't have the gear that I've got. And if you do have the gear that I've got, step it up, use a nice piece of hardwood, and tag me in your video so I can check it out. If you guys enjoyed this video, a like and a share will go a very long way in supporting what I'm doing here and keep these videos coming out. And if you are able to support J&D Creations just a little bit more, head on into the description. You'll find a link to my Patreon account where you can sign up and get a number of different benefits. Thanks, legends. Until the next one, stay safe, look after yourself, and I will see you soon.